Hello guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm playing Archero for almost a year now and I decided to go online with my hobby. I will be posting tips and share my thoughts regarding Archero gameplay and ideally help you guys understand better on how to improve on Archero. This is my first video, so feel free to comment, suggest and share your thoughts. In today's video I will be discussing the Archero Adventure Mode, giving tips on how to improve your best high score and also share some insights. The Archero Adventure Endless game is extremely fun and it's a good Archero mode to break the normal routine of farming the normal chapters. Whenever you die on the Endless mode you get to continue with 2 more heroes, makes it a 3 life minigame which is awesome. The Endless mode itself opens a way for veteran Archeros like myself to use their coin and sapphires bank and upgrade more than 1 hero, ideally 3. Not to mention it's a good way to collect lockets and bracelets and improve your gear, or even for the purpose of acquiring high number of scrolls. Unfortunately, it's only open for 1 game every 2 days, or 2 games if you buy 1 tryout using 100 gems. So I will be pointing out the guidelines in order to reach a new high score, and discuss the various ability builds you should go and shouldn't go for, dividing them to 3 sections: primary, secondary and avoid. So let's get started. First and foremost, go ahead and upgrade a second hero. Whenever you die on adventure mode, you get to revive with a different hero. If your second and third heroes are not upgraded at all, you'll probably die within a few seconds, since your weak heroes can't withstand the damage output of the mobs in higher stages. I recommend using your coin bank and sapphires on the secondary hero, rather than just upgrading your main hero once more. The reason to that is because the higher your level, the more it'll cost you. Upgrades on levels 60 and above cost hundreds of thousands, if not more, and if you don't have a big bank, you're going to end up using all your coins just for few upgrades, which generally gives few attack and HP points. Instead, you can spend the same resources to upgrade your secondary hero multiple times and more, depends on its level. Furthermore, this has never been easier ever since they opened the achievements option, where you can claim hundreds of gems based on your level and accomplishments. In my case, I was level 70 the other day and I got a little bit more than 1000 gems within seconds. So let's continue to tip number 2, regarding the abilities. The problem with adventure mode is that you only have 1 chance to play it every 2 days. Given the fact that you get to choose from a random abilities pool, it might become frustrating finding the worst skills, which will prevent you from going further. Yet the abilities have great impact on how things will go, and I'm here to help you sort it all out, understanding better what should be your main preference when it comes to skill build. So let's divide all the abilities to 3 sections: primary, secondary and avoid. The principle behind this is very simple. You should be picking up any skill or ability which gives your hero either damage boost or survivability, directly or indirectly. One more thing I'd like to say is that when it comes to skill build, I aim for the boss levels. So there might be some abilities that are good, but if they are not efficient against bosses, then I would disregard them. The challenge most of the time are the bosses levels, period. So let's go through the scheme briefly. Starting from the top left. Extra life is probably the best option, but you can only get it from the devil exchanging for HP. Multi and front shot, rage and giant, all these can literally determine how far you'll reach on the endless mode, so pick them up. Next is invincibility, which is awesome, especially if you know how to use it. Ricochet is also great, since on higher stages there are 2 bosses per room, which is crazy hard. However, if you're using tornado, it's not ideal. Dodge and agility are awesome at keeping you alive, especially if you have serpent rings and dexterity robe. Now, when it comes to damage and HP boosts, I prefer HP most of the time, especially if I picked up rage or if I play with Elix, which have built-in rage, but that depends on how much damage you have. Well, I'll touch that aspect later on. Last ones are shields, wingman and slow projectile, which are nice, but you can't rely on them or control them to your benefit. Besides, I find the bosses very aggressive on higher stages. They jump on you most of the time, so the abilities are okay, but not as good as other options. Moving on to the secondary ranked skills. Here I decided to put all the abilities which can help you, but they are not really a must. Still, the abilities are random, and if you will have to pick them up from time to time, go ahead. Starting from the top left. Bloodthirst is okay, allowing yourself to be a little sloppy. Regarding Dwarf, it gives 10% critical chance, and although some may not agree with me, I prefer the 40% giant instant damage, counting less on luck. Headshot is also great, but again it's a luck-based ability and can't be manipulated. Water and wall walkers are great, to be honest. They also give 15% damage boost, but you can only get them from the devil and I don't think it's worth it, nor find it needed most of the time. Next are all the swords, which are pretty strong hitting your enemies with 150% of your damage, and I always prefer the ice ones, freezing your enemies. However, this effect have a downside and can change the way a boss moves or attacks, and it may catch you off guard, so pay attention. When it comes to the star drops, the more attack speed you have the better. It can add up to high number of star drops and deal lots of damage. Strong heart is somewhat impossible to avoid sometimes, so why not? The bouncy wall, well, depends which weapon you're using, do not pick that one with a tornado. Moving on to the avoid list. Regarding meteors, you may ask yourself, why not after all, they have the same damage as dropping stars with a little bit of splash. But the problem is they proc much less and I find it ineffective. Again, I like my build boss oriented and this is not really helping me with the boss levels. Next in our list are all the spirit boosters. Whether it's damage, effect or even multi-shot, it's too weak. Do not try to convert your spirits into super killing machines, it does not work. I've tried it many times. Regarding the circles, they don't contribute much and they require physical contact with the mobs, so avoid them too. Next are the clones, which provide a chance to create a clone when a unit dies. Not only it's not certain, it's weak, slow and won't have any effect in bosses' rooms where usually there are no other mobs. Holy Touch and Death Nova, well, what can I say, I realized they are really bad somewhere when I was level 10, so avoid them too. Last one is the Smart. Smart can only be effective if you pick it on normal chapters and in the beginning of the chapter. In our case in Adventure Mode you will reach level 11 and max out within 50 rooms no matter what, so picking up Smart, well, ain't that smart. Note that there are some weak skills like Spirit Effects which gives your hero extra damage or critical in addition, but still they are not efficient enough. Also, there are some skills I've probably forgot to include in my lists and for that reason they are probably insignificant as well, so avoid them too. The third and last subject of this video is about HP and damage ratio. When it comes to normal chapters, the more DPS you have the better. The normal chapters are not as nearly prolonged as the adventure mode, and you can easily get away with extreme damage build and low HP. Obviously, damage is important, but given the circumstances, it's not the number one priority when it comes to adventure mode. You should be aiming for at least 10,000 HP. The reason to that is because the higher you reach on adventure mode, the higher DPS the mobs and bosses have. It sums up to crazy amount of damage output, somewhere around 4,000 damage per hit. So while you may get away for a while, it's not going to work on the long run. Believe me, I've tried. I had a run by with tons of damage pickups, multi-shot, front shot, giant and whatnot. I felt like a god for a moment, but when it comes to higher levels, usually 100 and above, there is no way to sneak out without being hit from time to time. Don't get me wrong, go ahead, do it, but as tempting as it may be, my number one priority is survivability. There is another trick I use to keep my HP damage ratio. As you probably know by now, whenever you clear a boss room without taking damage, you'll get a visit from the devil. Although it's crucial in some cases, I wouldn't recommend picking up more than just multi-shot and front shot. So if you're satisfied with your current skill build, you can deliberately get hit by a boss in order to reduce the chance for a devil's visit. Do it a moment before he dies, just in case. I use that trick to avoid exchanging HP for a skill. Instead, I gamble on a good outcome by spinning the wheel. Well, that's it for this video. I really hope it helps you in some way. Feel free to subscribe by clicking forward and down at the bottom right. My name is Barak, by the way, and my next video is going to be about maximizing your skills on Archero, how to die less and so on. So, see you in a few days.